This is the one. But basically, protesters who are behind this yellow line are free to assemble peacefully, and that's basically what we're seeing here. Is a peaceful assembly. So, what was your question, Joey?
Earthquake magnitude
there's something about the body
4.3.
camera models and whether or not the
Mexico.
red flashing light is an automatic
18 minutes
indicator
ago.
of it recording. Apparently there's something called stealth mode that they can turn on, which means that the red light goes off but it's still recording. This way it doesn't make them a target when walking through a darkly lit area or dimly lit area. So we've got a bunch of officers out here with the body cameras not flashing red.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know me. I'm gonna just hit the police right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to the public information. I know it's late. I doubt I'll get a response. But like, why assume anything? Let's just ask the police directly. And you know, that's something else in the world.
So I'm being told that I'm close to the 4-hour mark for the live stream. So I'm gonna check in on that real fast, you guys. One moment. If that happens, if the live, can somebody confirm how long the live stream has been going? Philip, I don't have a Twitch. If the live goes down in the next couple of minutes, then I'll start it back up. Oh, I still got 45 minutes. All right, word. That's what I thought. I thought I had some time, but can't be too short. All right, we're out here for another 45 minutes then at least. We got Omari on the stream. If you guys want to tune into another media, we got Converge Media out here live streaming to a bunch of folks. Omari's probably going to go grab another angle. If you haven't already been following them, it's CONVERGE Converge Media. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, everybody. Try to get back over here one more time. I'm so sorry. Pardon me.
Shut the fuck up!
Sorry, you guys.
This is the line that they're saying not to.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Hey, bro, it's got to happen. They're worried about the contract line. That's the contract.
Your fucking job. You'll fucking suck.
So police are saying we have 2 minutes to move back before escalatory action will transpire. So we got 2 minutes. I see Bobby Stills and Omari over there in the throes of it. I think I'm going to stand my ground right here. They've got coverage over there. I'll get coverage here. All right, the line just came down one more time. So we'll see how the police choose to respond.
Hey, fuck you! Hey, you! Fuck you! And some guy behind you, fuck you too!
Fuck your job. Get a
Hey, you! Hey! Hey, you! Behind you! Turn around!
See, they're starting to move and get uncomfortable.
Oh, does that gun make you feel better? You toxic piece of shit? Does that gun make you feel better?
They said if you do not move back, you will be subject to arrest. We have 1 minute.
they can suck it.
They want everybody to get past this line right here. They want everybody past this line in 1 minute. They're about to start.
Shut up!
Man, I'm just out here giving you guys the real raw aspect of what's going on, man. It's like they almost wanted this to happen again so they can get attention. But I'm about to do another little video, man.
So you can see they are technically behind that yellow line that the police have pulled out.
Hey, you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Shut up!
All the fucking property of the people!
Shut up!
All the fucking people!
So officers are saying they're going to reestablish the line.
Shut up!
You know what we fucking want!
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Hey, you! Fuck you!
Again, I'm not letting this platform be used by racist trolls who don't understand the point of protest and don't understand the context here in this city, in this neighborhood. So I'm going to block as many people as I can while trying to hold this line here. Jessica Frost is in here? Oh my goodness. Jessica Frost, you are a local celebrity and hero. Jessica Frost, shout out to you and your man if you're in here. We love you.
This is the line right here.
You're in fucking fantasy land!
The honor of Jessica Frost was in this line. I don't see her though.
Well, I'm just trying to get a glimpse of where this line's at because
So I don't know if they're talking about the front line or the back line. You're right. Here, get in front of me, brother. I'll follow.
So the line's already broken, if you can already tell. So now they got more options. They shielded up.
Oh, they brought the one black guy!
Again, if you don't have the analysis
They brought the token
or the
black
context
guy.
for what's happening here on the ground in this location and what's been happening on the ground in this location over the last month, then I would encourage you to refrain from commenting and just let the folks who actually know what we're talking about call the shots here. You're allowed to have an opinion, but not an uninformed one, okay? And Fox News does not count as an informed opinion. I'm sorry.
All of you, suck on this! Suck on this! Suck on this! All of you fucking suck!
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You move back, bitch! 6 feet!
Go.
Move back! 6 feet!
Here we go.
6 feet.
Back! Hey!
6 feet.
Suck on it!
6 feet.
Suck on it!
Alright, this is it, you guys. This is it, you guys. This is it, you guys. They're gonna start pushing. They're gonna start pushing. I've got a barricade in front of me, so I hope they don't. But
I'm just saying 6 feet.
Suck on it! Suck on it!
this is fine, right?
Suck on it! Suck on it!
Okay.
I'm aware of that. I want to make sure
Choke
we're
on it!
safe, right?
You should choke on it!
Okay. There's been a flash bomb thrown.
That's that shit! That's that shit!
Okay. Here we go again.
We're in the crosswalk! Fuck you!
Okay. So they just set off a flash bomb grenade. That was the exact kind as they've been setting off the last month. So I can almost guarantee you that was set off by Seattle Police Department.
Take your motherfucking guns off!
I've seen tons of those. I would say hundreds of those in the last month. And they show that exact same spiral fireworks style deployment. So it's safe to say that came from the Seattle Police Department. I was safely behind this line right here, which they had established, and then they pushed me back. They haven't hit me or anything, but they did move the barricade that they had established back even further. Okay, I heard some fireworks go off just now. Got the police line.
Thank you for your service. Where's your body camera? Where's your body camera? Where's your body camera? Thank you for your service. I feel so safe. So fucking safe. Thank you. Thank you for serving us. Thank you.
Go back. Hey, choke on it. Choke on it.
Move back. Move back. Move back.
Sorry.
Hey, man. You guys fucking it. Yo, gas can, get a mask! You got the fucking gas can and get a goddamn mask! You ain't gonna do that! You ain't gonna do that!
Shout out to Ned Farmer, who's in this live feed right now. Ned, I hope you're doing okay. For those of you who do not know, Ned was one of the independent photographers who was hit by one of those flash bombs, who was seen behind a dumpster falling over, and then was subsequently dragged, picked up, and carried away by protesters to safety. So Ned, I hope you're doing okay. It's good to hear from you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. The pink umbrella, infamous pink umbrella, is back. I'm gonna make sure I get this line up here. So I've got next to nothing in front of me here, except for this person. A little nerve-wracking. They said if you're not on the crosswalk, you will be arrested. Again, I want to make sure I get sort of the line here so you can get a clear view of what's happening. Protesters are trying to reclaim a little bit more space here. Okay, so we've got a captain giving directives out here. I'm not sure what he said. I heard the words reach out. It appears they might be making arrests here soon, but I'm not sure. I do work in the morning, so I'm going to try to avoid getting arrested at all costs. But I do want to make sure I get as much of this as I can. I am on the other side of the line here, so if they do decide to target me, it'll be pretty easy. We've got a man in a suit and a gas mask. He came ready. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. We will see what happens. I think, wouldn't be surprised if each officer's kind of squaring up, kind of like you do basketball where you pick a guy and you keep your eyes on them the entire game. I feel like they're, at this point, potentially going to be selecting an individual protester to arrest. I can't confirm that, obviously, but that's the feeling that I have right now, is that they're identifying their targets and will eventually move forward and make arrests. Again, that's unclear, but that is the tension. My hand is shaking. I'm gonna put it in my pocket, switch hands here, maybe warm it up, make it feel a little better. I think this is probably the closest that I've been to potentially being arrested out here in the last month. This feels a little bit dangerous and a little more tense than a lot of the other nights, despite the lack of tear gas and pepper spray and multiple flashbang grenades and rubber bullets. But TBD on that, we'll see.
Hey, guess what? Fuck you again.
Gotta be mindful of my surroundings. There's a sign right back here, so if I do start running in that direction. Okay. They're starting to. Yep. Just as I thought. Okay, they've got a weapon out. Got this weapon out here.
Look at that little fucker.
I do not want to be arrested.
Hey, man, hey, your flash grenade, man, you can keep that. Put that in your pocket. Pull the pin and put it in your pocket.
Don't point guns at us. Don't point guns at us.
Again, we've got police advancing towards the protesters, knocking over the signs. Protesters walking back. We got Omari out here holding it down.
Is that a flashbang grenade?
It was, yeah. That was the Seattle PD for sure. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I literally don't even know what you're saying. We can't fucking hear you if you don't.
Let him go free, man. You understand me?
Again, it feels they're issuing a warning of some kind.
I got real restless. I mean, if it wasn't for the black folks, they got control of my heart.
Right,
but if I was by myself, all y'all be, all y'all have to be.
You okay? Hey. What happened? What happened? You okay? Talk to us. Hey. What's up? Talk to us.
Oh god, it's okay. I'm sorry, I'm little. Let's go.
Okay, so I don't believe he was hit with anything. I was standing right here. He said something about tumors in his head, like he has a prior medical condition. Doesn't surprise me that the level of stress out here would cause someone to flare up. He's being carried away by some folks. There's a couple medics on the ground. I hope he's okay. I was just talking to him and then he fell over, so I hope he's okay.
Get the fuck back off our line! You're on the right line!
Stealth mode on their body cams. Look it up, they said. Yeah. Those of them who have it looks like it's off. When they press a button, it turns green. They said
So it said green means buffering, red means...
I'm saying we have
Yeah. Got it. No, I appreciate the clarification. I do. Thank you. We were debating on this earlier about the live stream, about what it means. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Officer Cleve. So he's giving us some body cam education there around whether or not they're on or off. Protesters were led to believe that not having the flashing red light means that they were off, but he's showing us that his is in fact on.
None of you three are wearing masks. Like, I'm just real confused about that in a fucking pandemic. Or like, you trying to die? Because like, I guess it's a suicidal thing, but like, that's a little too passive, you know?
Like if you're gonna off yourself, go do it somewhere. Check something.
Okay, so we got some folks who are upset. You okay, sweetie? Okay, I'm good. Just checking in on you.
Can you hear?
Huh?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
I got people saying that they cut my sound off.
Oh, I don't know if I can hear. My folks can hear.
Okay, there's some people that can hear on here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
But they've given us 5 minutes to vacate, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. Do you want to maybe talk to the stream? Are you comfortable with that?
I mean, either way, brother.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on, man? Man, I'm KG Farmer. You can look me up, man. I'm out here, sitting here recording just like everybody else and exposing and giving the real truth out here. It's been pretty interesting on how they're going about doing it, man, and it's just, they're starting to do this from day one. So there isn't really anything that's any different from the first day to the last day. So really everybody's just out here, man, trying to support the cause, and they're trying to say that our First Amendment...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
You gonna hit a woman?
All right, police are throwing. Somebody threw an egg, it looks like. Police officer. They've made one arrest. They're making one arrest.
Come on. Come on, guys. Hey, man, why you hit that girl? Come on.
Make you feel tough smacking a woman?
White line is a thing, right? You're over the white line. Get behind the white line. Get behind the white line. And then go run into their line. You just hit people over the white line.
So folks are saying that they did not cross the line and that they grabbed them.
I will have my niggas find where you sleep. You hear me?
Can you?
Find where you sleep. Do you hear me?
So
I'll find where you lay your head at night.
I missed the live stream. Can you tell us what just happened?
They just called this girl. She was getting glasses. They said she's over the line. They snatched her. Snatched her. For what? She had a disability apparently. If anything happens, this officer right here is responsible. Him right here.
So this officer Ivanov, badge number.
Watch out.
Sorry, I can't get the badge number. It's Ivanov. Can be seen in the live stream grabbing her.
You fucking Nazi fucking murderers, every fucking one of you! You crossed the fucking white line, you ugly fucking kid!
I'm not gonna leave with these people. Like,
So this is the white line.
that's really stupid.
The right part of me.
What did she do? What did she do?
Baiting them? Don't bait. Don't bait. Don't bait. That's just called entrapment. It's a defense.
That was bullshit.
What did she do? In the back on
They were trying to get someone's glasses. But she went down to big
You got it
get
on
someone's
tape, right?
glasses. Pardon?
You got it on tape, right?
Yeah, we got it on tape.
Make sure, get that on YouTube now.
She went to pick up someone's
Can
glasses.
someone give me an ETA on how much time I have?
They're only gap in their armor, go for the neck. I'm so dead ass. I'm gonna charge the fuck out of you, nigga. I'm gonna stomp you out. I'm gonna find where you sleep. I'm gonna stomp your kids out. I'm gonna stomp your life out. I'm gonna stomp your ugly ass mom out and your ugly ass dad, bitch. I'm gonna fight, bro.
Where's the abusive cop? Which one's the one?
All of them.
Special weapons.
Actually, she hasn't been abusive.
About 20 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany.
If they come forward, are you okay with me dragging you back if they come forward?
Thank you, guys.
Or do you want to be like? Oh, okay.
Now we're subject to unlawful.
What was the instruction? You know, you can't hear him out here. So what we're saying is it's hard to hear out here. Like I said, it's like a time machine. We're going back to the Western Barricade, and they'll put a PA out here if it's going to continue. But the officer right here has said that they've given an order to disperse, and they're instructing people to either go north or south on Broadway or to proceed west on Pine Street. They've given an order to disperse. I didn't hear a time. Usually they give a time, and it's very hard to hear with the system that they're currently using right there. But there has been an order to disperse that's been given out here, and yeah, this is just like.
The prosecutor don't give a fuck about you. The governor don't give a damn about you. And you are here out there every day, fucking over
So
the
now,
only people that would support you. That is what you're doing. If you a good cop,
Officers are now taking one step back. All right. The police have now established a new line here. Our understanding. And that actually is the sergeant right there who's giving the order right now is actually somebody we've talked to quite a few times back when the Western Barricade was here. I think it's Goganis.
our street, 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 our street,
Got you.
our street,
Yeah, no, that's
our
it.
street, our street, our street, our street.
And back during the Western Barricade days. Yeah, so that is him right there.
You good? Hope you don't have splinters in your butt. Fuck yeah!
Oh, yeah, like that.
The more you push us and you break us, the less support you have. Service dogs have more training than SPD, you ugly bitches. Service dogs.
He said service dogs have more training than the police. Damn.
Maybe we should replace all of you with canines.
He's talking about this line.
Look at your sexy bitchy dominatrix motherfuckers.
The officers have told them to stay west of this line. And now the SPD, what they're saying is SPD has moved their line back. And what SPD is saying is they've created space and they've moved their line back. What they're saying is this white line right here this is basically the demarcation line for them. What they're saying is that they have, and we've seen SPD here now take four steps back. We've seen them take 4 steps back. This is the line right here, and what they're now saying is that anybody crosses this line, that they're going to be in violation.
I like how we paid them this fucking money to stand out here, though. This is our tax dollars, everybody.
Hey, what you talking about? You want to let us in on it?
The master public safety
and so what the officer is doing right now is pointing out the barriers that Mayor Durkin defined earlier in her emergency order. The officer is now asking again for protesters to look down at this white line. Officer is also saying that the police have taken several steps back.
You are choosing to be domestic terrorists. You are choosing
This is the line right here. This is this eastern, this strip right here.
All of you got rejected in other precincts. Seattle, you all.
We'll take a step back.
Don't get arrested. That's the truth.
Whew. Well, I didn't think that we'd get back to the flashbang day so quickly out here. Now we got a van. I mean, it's traffic here. We'll take a step back over there and kind of show you the rest of what's going on up here on Broadway and Pine. Broadway is totally blocked right here. I mean, literally, it's blocked. Protesters have put their cars here on Broadway. They put their cars in the street. They blocked Pine, and of course, you know, this is open, but there's no traffic to actually go that way. So
Let's make some noise.
man, this is like a mutual aid van. They're running the mutual aid out the van now, huh? Hey, what's up, man? We're around each other right now too. How are you? What are you operating over here?
Like since day one. I'm not sure if you've seen the last pushes, but I was behind. And like remember that last Sunday night push, 30-minute push? I was right at the front there.
Yeah, I've seen that you've gained a few signatures here on your
I
van.
have, yeah.
Okay.
Both here and now Portland too.
In Portland as well, huh? All right.
Something? Do you have like yellow tape or something?
All right. This is the line.
We're not gonna make fun of you if you put on your mask. We're not gonna laugh. Hey, when are you gonna put your mask on, Mikey?
You guys haven't had any issues with streaming? No?
At least nobody's reported any.
Mine just shut down. They were saying it happened to Bobby's too.
Oh, actually, yeah, Bobby's just cut out of nowhere. So I switched phones. So we got some protesters here. What? So Rashad. Can't hear the PA. You can't hear the PA. Now you've got a group of protesters. So some protesters have picked up the yellow tape and they tried to run the yellow tape back across to hold a line just behind the line that the Seattle Police Department is saying that they don't want any movement to. They're giving them more too. So somebody, they asked for tape. We got more tape over here. What's good, family?
In my stream, we got it all the way over there to the other end of the mayor's house, and they were like, hey, conversions over here.
This is where it's at. So now a group of protesters, got another one in there. Not
What's your name?
night number 1. Night 0, man. Whew. Friends.
Oh, you're gonna make the black man go in front? Oh, we got the black man.
Most of the tear gas really caused flashbangs, but they haven't been doing flashbangs now over the crowd. I personally don't think so, but they have to swing flashbangs.
You need a mask, dog? I got an extra.
Exactly.
This does more to protect the public than this does. What happened to your shield? Is this what the tax dollars are paying for? Come on. I pay a shitload of taxes. Get a better shield. You can't see shit.
letting you know we can't hear anything the officer's saying. So attached, man.
Cross that fucking line, our street. Our street. Our street. Our street. Our street.
Hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Thank you.
Nah, you trying to break the line up and stuff, man.
Very interesting right here is that we got some frontliners. Somebody over here on the truck.
Fuck the police!
This is the line.
Be careful. Shut the fuck up, all of you! Save us some money and go home.
Man, I got a prediction that this might be a one of many long nights ahead of us here in the Emerald City. The chop might be cleared.
No violence! Stop bringing violence to a peaceful protest! It's a peaceful protest!
Who's streets?
Omari!
Hey, what's up?
God, I appreciate you.
Who loves medals? Go! I want everybody to turn around real quick. It's time to move. It's time to keep doing this. You don't give it to them right now. Let's keep moving on these barricades. These fake ass police now. crazy that fucking right here, because earlier today, I tried to make a complaint. I was fucking racially profiled and assaulted twice by the fucking store cashier at the Pine Food Store Mart right here on Boylston. I called 911 to make a complaint, and these officers did not want to investigate. The cashier at the Pine Food Store racially profiled me, accused me of stealing an ice cream sandwich, chased me outside and assaulted me twice. The police did not respond.
Police are now taking one step back.
Back the fuck up.
You're trying to move. You're trying to move around up here.
Inspector Master, he's calling you. Time to go home.
Let's go. Let's go. Go.
Hey.
Yo. Yo. Let's go.
Let's not provoke. Let's not provoke.
Let's go. No, we need bodies. We need everybody. Come on, we do this together. We marching. Why you guys against marching?
Back in day one right now.
You guys are against marching. Let's go.
Let's not provoke.
Let's not provoke. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Got more officers coming in. This might be a shift change, or it could be both for them. Let's see if they tap anybody out.
Earthquake magnitude 2.9. Poland. 9 minutes ago.
Look. Hold on. They got the rubber bullet gun. They got the rubber bullet gun right there. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. The mace is out. Mace is out. Hold on. All right.
Say your name.
Ah, damn, that's Mace. Damn it. All right. We've become too used to this. You guys don't even hear me yelling and screaming or cursing these days. Unfortunately, it's happening too much. What was that?
Sue the police station after you get out. Call the ACLU to sue their ass.
There's no line now. There's no clear line. We got police all the way across over here.
Let him go.
We got police and actually an arrest over here. There's no clear line. So.
How many times your officer has his
There is no more clear line.
Sell out. Look at this sellout right here. Look at this sellout. Mr. Griffin, you're a sellout, boy. You know what you stand for. It's that paper. It's that paycheck, bitch. You know what you stand for. You better stay cool.
Well, that's a movement over here. There is no line at this point. There is no clear line out here. And actually, the situation is escalating.
Following the truck and making them follow us.
I need to get a gas mask. Here, yes.
Something's wrong. They said bottle came in, mace came out. The mace.
Yeah, Mark.
We see Medic 1 back there. I don't know if Medic 1 is heading down here, but Medic 1 is on the way. The police have now reset their line. The police have reset their line here. But I'll be honest with you. You know, this is it's a real situation up here. Police are now taking a few steps back. Looks like they're probably going to step back behind the actual white line on the rainbow crosswalk. Yeah.
It's fucking, I'm losing, dude. We gotta calm down. I'm not calm, dude. Well, take some steps forward. This is not.
Well, you gotta take a few steps back, man. You know, calm heads. Okay, and you're right, and I did. All I'm saying is calm heads always prevail, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, be honest with you now is that really rather be asleep. I'd really rather be asleep. But I mean, you know, cool heads gotta prevail, man.
They should, as they should.
No matter what. So, all right. You know, everybody gotta just be able to cool it down for a second here. It's just.
Fuck them niggas. Hey. Punching that girl on the ground and shit. Fuck these niggas. In a minute. Hey, listen.
They get tired. You need to
No.
move so they get tired. The more we move, the more tired they get. The more tired they get.
Why did you cross the line, you dumb fuck?
Should not be in the front. White bodies in the front. White bodies should not be in the front. White bodies in the front. White bodies in the front.
It's like we got the time machine and just we went back in time.
Michael J. Fox is here.
You know, where's the DeLorean at? At least we have a fly ride, man. But this is we're literally right back where we're at. I mean, it might be a 2-block difference, and at the moment there's no metal barricade, but we're exactly where we were at 3 weeks ago. You know, I mean, this is. So again, the question is, let me take a step back here. Let me take a step back here. So what we're seeing is basically the same thing that we saw weeks ago. You see protesters with a standoff here with police. The difference here is what I'm talking about is
earthquake magnitude 3.1. 17 minutes ago.
It's just that it's 2 blocks further to the west, and there is no physical barricade. So it's actually, like I said, it's always, because there is no physical barricade here. Excuse me. So here we go. This is this line right here.
Protection from these hoes. Fuck you all. You all fucking suck. You rocking the core, you fucking bitch. You all fucking suck.
Look at your fucking blue lives matter thing.
You all are rotten to the fucking core. Fuck you.
Fuck your thin blue line. Fastest fucking pig.
You know what's so stupid about that movement? You have to put on a fucking uniform to matter. I just have to wear my fucking skin, you stupid prick.
You all fucking suck. Suck it, bitch.
You know, another thing to think about here. This is day number 1 of now of post chop. You know, the city. My understanding is the city spent like $6 billion. Might not have the numbers correct. Forgive me, but it was close to like $6 billion previously on protests, overtime, officers, and everything else. So even for people who are budget hawks, you know, finding some kind of solutions to these issues in our city is important for on all kinds of different levels here. You know, I mean, how many days? This is night number 1. How many nights?
Justin Mill.
Will
the cops must be loving all this overtime money.
You know, or other streets in the city. The protesters are saying they ain't going nowhere, and you know, if this is the
Watchdog.
same kind of protesters,
Yeah, I bet they do.
that we saw in the Western Barricade days, then you really don't have any reason to believe that they are not going to be here every single day. And in that case, the fundamental problems, yeah, it's no longer the chop, but the fundamental problems. I mean, you got to remember that it was the protesters here on the Western, well, this is the new Western Barricade, but the Western Barricade showing up every single day was the impetus of the Seattle Police Department abandoning the East Precinct in the first day. Protesters came for 8 days, 7 days, 8 days, and then the next day, the SPD abandoned the East Precinct. So it wasn't like the protesters overrun or took the precinct or anything like that. But the fact that they've been out, they came out every single day, you know, it led to actions. Maybe it was a City Hall thing, optics, who knows. But after 8 days of protest in the streets, the precinct was abandoned. So what's the city's plan now? What if these guys are out here for another 8 days? What if they're out here for another 14 days, 21 days? It's summertime, even though it doesn't feel like it here. You know what I'm saying? The weather might get warmer. I mean, it's like, you got the police taking another step back.
Earthquake magnitude 4.1.
Like I said,
Oaxaca,
it's day number
Mexico.
1
21 minutes ago.
Shop here, and these guys have been at it one way or another for at least 12 hours out here, if not longer. And you know, I mean, the serious question. I want to be able to grab somebody here, and I mean, let's just ask people what they're saying. I think it's a protester here, TD. Hey, TD. Hey, did you see the mayor's press conference today? All right, well, the mayor said that basically They want to invest in black communities. She's open to looking at defund. They want to put a space here in Capitol Hill for black voices. I didn't see him give a plan like PDF download. Those are what it came out of her mouth though.
You were at the meeting. We both were at the meeting last Friday. She says things, doesn't do them. We need to document it. We need to put it in paper.
So
whatever she says, I can't take into account because I can't.
So but you didn't see the press conference today. But if you did, I'm paraphrasing with the items that I brought up today. Would that have changed your mind of being here tonight?
If it was in writing, that may have done something. But whatever. Should the city, should Mayor Durkin actually create a I don't know, PDF download of her plan? If she really is serious about doing something, then why don't you write a proposal? You can have the cameras on. I mean, you know that you're media. You can come out and have the cameras on and say whatever you want. But when the lights are turned off, what's really happening?
All right. Thanks, TD.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can find anybody else out here who, because, the best feedback that you can get is from the feedback from the guys who are actually in the streets. I know City Hall talks to like a lot of third-party people and asking them what people in the streets think and this and that. But, let's just talk to people out here and see what their thoughts are. See what we can find out here. Hey, Caleb. Did you see the mayor's press conference, or you were in jail earlier?
I was in jail, but we were watching some of it, and it was complete. I don't want to swear. It was bull crap. It was bull crap. I was surprised to see that her, as well as Chief Best, believed that there would be no imminent protest after they took back the CHOP area. CHOP's not a place; it's an idea again. So why are they surprised that we're here right now? They just gave the order that in 5 minutes, everybody here who they catch will be arrested. That's the same exact command that they gave up at the CHOP this morning at 5 o'clock. So we'll see what happens.
Is there anything that the mayor, City Hall, can say that they get you off the street, say tonight? They got you on the line. It's like, Caleb, what? Do you plan to?
Don't be petty because they marched to your house. That's the only reason why she cleared out shop. That's the only reason why they're doing this right now. Is because she's mad that we brought the fight to her house.
Right. Do you plan to be out here?
Actually, Kashana, I believe, brought her house. Tax, Amazon, right?
Do you plan to be out here are you coming back tomorrow?
I've been here 24/7 almost every single day. The only days I didn't is days that I had to work because I got to make money and my paycheck is supplying a lot of people here. So I'm here 24/7. I plan on being here all night, all day tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. I'm excited.
Tom, that mob looks small.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right, thank you. See who else we can find out here. I'm trying to find people we talked to before, but let's maybe find some people we haven't talked to before. Excuse me. Mind if I ask you a question on camera? Turn on the stream here. Did you see the mayor's press conference today? Right. Well, the mayor said that she planned on making it's the same thing she's been saying, making some investments in the black community. She talked about some preservation here at CHOP and a few other things. Chief Best talked about reimagining policing. You'd have to watch. I'd recommend you watch it yourself either way, make a decision. But is there anything the City Hall could say right now if they got on the phone with you that would get you out the streets right now? Do you plan to come out here every day?
Earthquake magnitude 3.9. San Juan, Argentina. 6 minutes ago.
All right, thank you.
Crystal Skur, LMFT.
Have no idea.
Well, what did they want or what was goal?
They're saying that one of the organizers, Mark Anthony, was arrested. These guys are writing their. What's the pin for?
We're writing numbers in case anyone gets arrested.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's the nurse. You know, I've been talking about you. Yeah. How you doing, man? You good? You're back out here. Man, I tell people all the time how you came out here previously, the tear gas, the next day, all the people came out, and then you're back out here now, huh? All right.
Every day.
Wow. So that was the nurse. A lot of you guys that have been here in this stream, watching this stream, that was the nurse who back in the Western Barricade days got off work right there, kind of in those scrubs that he's wearing from Swedish Hospital, walked past this very street right here, and he got wrapped up in the tear gas. And the next day, 12 nurses from Swedish came out. So I hadn't seen him since that day, since we interviewed him. We interviewed him on that day. So, if there's anybody else out here.
In general, but you're looking at me so something is
My beautiful protesters, I have just been informed the police department is 2 minutes until they're about to snatch y'all motherfuckers. So we need to move like motherfucking water. Stay 2 steps ahead of these bitches, all right? I've already been to y'all, I ain't going back, all right? So I need y'all to follow us. Let's move like motherfucking water. Let's go. Move like water.
Protesters are leaving. They're moving to another barricade. I mean, the thing is I think that a lot of messaging, whatever it might be down in City Hall, it's not percolating here to the streets. And I mean, we can continue to talk to protesters here and discuss with them. But, you know, whatever is being said down there or even promised down there, if it's not reaching the people in the street, then it kind of really don't exist, at least down here on a street level. You know, I mean, I could continue, and I will continue to talk to people here. And this is an important thing, and I don't, and maybe guys at City Hall are doing that. Maybe they're down here and they're being like, hey, did you hear a press conference today? Did you hear this and that? Did you hear the mayor's going to do this? Did you hear? But, man, I mean, you know, City Hall might want a grassroots messaging campaign, because it's every time we come down here and we say, man, did you see this? Did you hear that? Did you see this? People are like, no. One person we interviewed, one of the protesters named TD, he had something good right there. He was like, man, is there anything I can download? Is there anything that I can read? Is it bullet pointed? Yeah, I mean, he wants a PDF. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, but this is one of the things that even before we're interviewing these guys, this is something that we've been talking about for a while, is putting some meat on those bones down there at City Hall. I mean, a lot of the things they're talking about sounds good, but, you know, what's up, Jake? Fam Bam, you good? Okay. But, you know, I mean, we talk about, man, you'll flush it out. But here is also what people might want to understand. You see what I'm saying? Irregardless of what's being said downtown, unless you have a presence down here, unless you're able to communicate to the people who are actually blocking the streets. This is what we said the same thing during the CHOP. It was like, yo, man, these are things they talked about, Fire Station 6 to Africa Town. They talked about this and that, man. But the people who's blocking the streets, a lot of people, they ain't even heard of Fire Station 6. They're like, man, well, what is that? You see what I'm saying? And so it's two different situations that are going on. We've been saying this for a month now, man, and continue to repeat this now for over a month, that, you know, a lot of the conversation that's occurring, I mean, it's great. It sounds good on the microphone, and I think that a lot of what's coming out of City Hall, you know, it sounds good to the traditional black leaders, sounds good to the black preachers, and all this and that, but it's impervious to the people who are actually camped out here. It's impervious to the people that are blocking the streets. It's totally impervious. It's not filtering through. You know, I mean, it's clear. We saw that with Chop. We see this now with night number 1, and who knows? It might end with night number 1, but I doubt it. I doubt it. You know, I mean, and we saw this before. What's going to happen for the next few nights is that the protesters are going to test the police tactics, and then the police are going to test the protesters' tactics. They go back and forth. Everybody saw some new stuff tonight. You saw flashbangs that were actually launched, you know what I'm saying, into a different area away from the crowd instead of thrown on the ground into a crowd. We're seeing now these guys with their portable sound system, their truck, they're rallying people. Now they're moving over to another barricade, which at the time said there was only 6 officers. Now I'm sure when they get over there, it's gonna be way more than 6 officers. But point is,
Ocean.
this is
What does the bonfire prove?
I mean, this is what I'm saying, is that whatever message is coming out of City Hall, it's not reaching these streets right here. It's not reaching these streets right here. So, and actually, look, I thought my marching days was over. I lost like 30 pounds. The first week of protest, I was getting slim and fit like Joey Weiser.
You didn't know they were not going to take a day off.
Man, now look at this. Back in the streets. For other people across America, Seattle is very hilly. It isn't as hilly as San Francisco, but it's very hilly. And now.
You see a whole bunch of pigs in the chalk area. Understand that, you know. Because the reason why I call it the chop area still is because they no longer call it. Is this 10th Street? This is 10th, right? 10th and Pine? They no longer call it 10th and Pine when a young man or anyone come in here and have an accident, you know what I mean? They don't say the street name, they say outside of Chop or inside of Chop or Chop. So now, when you look inside of Chop, you see a whole bunch of pigs, you know? So just everybody, just watch them, just look what they're doing. Just some piggy shit, you know? Just weird. I just don't understand it though, you know? Like, I don't get it. It's just weird that they're just all over there. How much you think they're getting paid right now? How much cops How much cops do you think is over there? How much cops is over there today? Oh my God. Jesus Christ, those are high numbers. They don't protect shit. They don't protect my nuts.
And here you go.
They don't protect my nuts. Damn, bro.
Again,
I'm always out here feeling unsafe and shit.
Pike Street now barricaded.
Come on, let's go.
And so this is what I'm saying, is that the message down at City Hall, it's not permeating to the people. It didn't permeate to the people who was in the Chop. The Chop got swept. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people left Chop because of the gun violence. But what I'm saying is, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm all right. You know, back at it.
Has it been safe?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen too much out here. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of par for the course. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, anything else out here, I haven't seen much. So chant out of the homes and into the streets.
What you gotta drink? People still buy the American.
I think there's probably a few over there. I think most people are actually are now following this group. So for people that might be watching outside of Seattle on this stream, so what happened when the Seattle Police Department reclaimed basically the East Precincts, what they did was they increased their footprint, about doubled it. And so we're passing all these streets now on Pike. We're passing the streets. The police now have built their barricade, their area.
All right, guys. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Black lives matter. I know it's my street. You know it's your street. They don't know our street, guys. And that is the problem why we out here right now, you know? It's because they don't know it's our street. We know them.
So now what we see is the special weapons officers are rolling up right there. So we don't really see these officers being bolstered, but we see the special weapons officers arriving on the scene, and that's flashbangs, tear gas launcher, rubber bullets right there. But as far as additional officers, you don't really see any additional officers over here.
These officers here have tape across their bodies.
And so now we're going up to 12th Avenue. This is the very contentious 12th Avenue. This is where the East Precinct is at. And this is where 12, 6, 18 hours, hot dog, 18 hours ago.
Earthquake magnitude 1.4. Croatian. 19 minutes ago.
Quite a few people were in this crowd tonight. Pushed them out of the chop right here on the 12th and Pike.
There's a little light-skinned man, you know, running around here, dressed in all black, running around, ripping these yellow tapes.
Sabrina. 1.4. You can't even feel that earthquake.
You know, because he's ripping yellow tape. So they're trying, or they placed this man under arrest. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, but... Oh, you see him over there? Oh, you see him that way? Oh, shit, oh, guys, I think he went that way. All right, the pigs, again, we already know that every time we look to our right, it chops. we're going to see plates now, you know? So it's nothing new. I don't have to announce it anymore. Just go over there and acknowledge it. Throw some sausages in there if you need to. Free them, you know. Throw some franks. The frank stand. The frank stand is open, you know. The frank stand is open. The frank stand is definitely open, so they can eat up, period. So, just acknowledge it. I want to ask you guys a question, though. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose street? Yo, it sounds like we're making rap right now. It sounds like we're making music when we do this shit sometimes, you know? Like we just do it so good. It's just awesome. Lit, no, I'm serious. I said it's just so lit.
Hey, can you hold this for me for a second? I'll take this call.
The habitat is pretty big, guys. The habitat is pretty big.
Need a new juicer?
Hey guys, everybody, this habitat is pretty big. There's a lot of different types of pigs. So come on, guys. We got pigs, we got wild, we got mini pigs, we got all of them.
Check this out.
I want you guys to see how the Seattle Police Department is disrespecting Pumpkin's memorial right now.
Earlier today,
You can't even say a prayer for that poor boy.
12th and Pike.
today I was racially profiled and assaulted twice by a cashier who works at the Pine Food Store.
BR0 Ski 47. Hey hey ho ho.
He assaulted me twice and racially profiled me, accused me of stealing an ice cream sandwich. So I'm asking you as a people to go boycott his football.
My beautiful people, I want you to know that America is declared our Constitution. She came in with her force and she still wants to come in and declare. And our first Constitution right to protest is illegal. That is not like a standing there. I'm standing there. That's what you're supposed to do.
Neoliberal piece of shit.
We got a ladybug in the truck, guys. We got a ladybug in the truck. I just have to announce that. It's good luck. And then you know this week, we got a ladybug in the truck. I repeat, there's a ladybug in the truck. We're doing something right, guys. We got something with us now. We're doing something. You understand? Let's definitely do that. Yeah. Into the streets, out of your homes, 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 out of your homes. Who lives matter? Who lives matter? Do you understand why we're out here right now, guys? You know that. And you know why we were kicked out of CHOP and why we were kicked off of Capitol Hill? Do you guys know that? Do you want to know the real truth behind this? Because it's the system that we created, the people right here. And it's the one that was working. It was the right system and the system was working and it was against it. And that's why there's no more CHOP. But I realized something greater. CHOP is the people. The reason why we're calling it CHOP is because it started in Capitol Hill. Simple, you know? But we are occupied protesters. It's what we do. There's no right or wrong way to protest, but all way to protest is occupying shit. And hold on to it. And we need to go out and start holding on to shit. We started this shit. We motivated people all around this country, all around the nation, bro. We definitely did. And there's people in New York, Philly, and all over right now. That's only two I know. And they have their own occupying protest for 24 hours. They have their own. You understand that we motivated them to do this? We started something here, guys. You know that we mean something to the world right now. We're changing it slowly. And so what happened today is that we didn't lose it, but we kind of just like back down, you know what I mean? And we gotta get it back. And that's all we have to do to keep that message going.
How many takes does it take to fix the tape?
We're not surprised, guys. We are not surprised. We're surrounded by pigs. Jesus Christ, guys. And over this side, I swear to God, these are the wild hogs. We got the wild hogs over there by the trees. We got Puma. Somebody point at Timon. Because I knew Timon was police. You can't be friends with a pig that well. Come on, my G. Like, yo, you know there had to be some. He wasn't police, he had to be security or something. But he was definitely in that federal place, bro. Come on. But,
Earthquake magnitude 4.1. Oaxaca, Mexico. 22 minutes ago.
how long you think they can stand
Purple
this?
shoes. Where is this?
Guess what? I do not want this. I do not want the street to be closed off. 4th of July, that's disrespect to us. I don't care. Listen to me, guys. This should not happen the 4th of July. The 4th of July comes, we will not take this disrespect. We will not take that patriotic hate that they show. We will not do this anymore, you feel me? We'll send messages to them. The right message, the wrong message. But we'll send the message before the 4th of July to these people that we are not playing and we are not to be fucked with. Simple. Let's go, Shannon, let's go. Nah, they're all pigs. I don't fuck with them. I don't disrespect animals. Those are all pigs. Yeah. Hippos, zebras, can be fox. All night long. And when these fucking pigs leave, we gonna pick back our streets, you know? 2 days. It's not gonna be 3 days, guys. It's not.
What's up? I mean, they got it right now.
This guy's gonna handle this thing. Keep it watching.
Where is that coming from?
going down that hill. Keep going, Sharon. Keep going. Fuck them. That's a hill. Yo, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. March with us. Stay tight, guys. Stay tight. Telling me to come march with us. I know somebody up right now walking to the back room, just stuck their toe, you feel me? And you're like, what the fuck is going outside? You have to walk up to the window and look. You don't see how much of people outside telling me to come march with us. Make your decision wisely. Make your decision wisely, guys. Because I'm going to run up and ring the bell. Hey. I want everybody to start telling us to march with us again. Get out of the areas. March with us! 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 Get out of your own limited streets! Out of your own limited streets! Get out of your own limited streets! Out of your homes, into the streets. Out of your homes and into the what? Out of your homes and into the what?
So, what we're seeing here is residential. So the protest is taking a residential. We haven't seen this since the first week of the protest, actually, where it was residential streets.
Everybody who comes to the hotel, please switch up to me. I will let God come down and approach you guys. If you know something, but I'm trying right now. Now understand this. This is our streets. Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? That's why I'm working around it. Why not walk through them? If something is yours, why not use it? You feel me? If it's yours, you should use it. Do something with it if it belongs to you. And these are our streets, so we should say good things in these streets. Is there a face down there? Let me see what's going on down there. Because we got a whole lot of cops scared tonight, guys. I swear we do. We got a whole lot of cops scared tonight. Look at them. Look at them. Stop, Shane. Shane, stop real quick. Stop real quick, Shane. I just want to look at them. I just want to understand. Just look at these guys. You think these people are humans? I just want to know, you think these people are humans? Like, how can you kill people? How can you kill people for a living? How can your job to be kill people and you can go home every night and sleep and be normal with that? I just want to know, you think these people are humans? That shit is sick. It's sick. Simple. Is that weed, my nigga? Is that weed? Into the streets.
Well, I mean, we kept saying that if it does it go from the chop and now somewhere else. So
Talk to me. What are you seeing?
well, I mean, I'm seeing that the protesters are now back out and taking their protest residential.
I don't see you leave your post very often, so it's kind of cool to see you out here.
Well, you know, this is day one. The protesters have said they've reset. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I got my walking shoes on again. You know what I'm saying? I started gaining weight. I started gaining weight, and I had that COVID weight, and then I lost it during the marches. Then I put it back on during CHOP, so it looks like I'm back on my weight loss plan. These guys are doing a lot of walking here. So, but I think the big thing is to see the sustainability of this. You know what I'm saying? Is this just guys angry tonight and they're out here in the streets, or is it like they chant every day? So, you know, I mean, only time will tell on that. But also everybody I talked to, Joey, they, I mean, one, none of them even listened to the mayor's press conference. Two, none of them even knew any of the points of it. And, I mean, these are the people who are actually in the streets. And if people, like, I mean, unless this dies out on its own, if it doesn't, we saw the Western Barricade continue to gain momentum. If this doesn't die out on its own, I mean, somebody has to fill that gap between City Hall and the people who are actually in the streets.
George Floyd! Say his name! 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 George Floyd! Yes, go down.
Towards Cal Anderson Park right now. Got the vehicle here.
Hey, slow, baby, slow. Hey. Stay tight, y'all. Come on. Stay tight. You gotta flow like water.
So we're coming back on 12th Avenue, and 12th Avenue, again, that's the street that the East Precinct is on.
Say her name. 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 Right, that's right. D-Fund, SPD. D-Fund, D-Fund, SPD.
That's the East Precinct down there, the flashing lights. As protesters now head towards the northern barrier of Cal Anderson Park.
Slow down. There you go.
My shift is active tonight.
Every day!
Yeah, the night shift is back. We hadn't seen the night shift in a while since the barricade days. We talked about.
We've been missing the cops.
said the cops are back. So yeah, the night shift was always kind of lit, but is this what we could expect from the night shift moving on? And how long is the night shift gonna keep it up? That's the Seattle police over there to the.
One more time, y'all. Do it again.
Oh, Miss Durkin had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on her farm she has some pigs, E-I-E-I-O. With his point here and point there, here and on, everywhere and point. Oh, Miss Durkin.
See officers moving through the park. The officers are now repositioning themselves over here to the entrance of Cal Anderson Park. We see officers moving through the park.
Can we get your attention now? Wake up! Wake up! No fucking justice! Fucking peace! Wake the fuck up!
Let's sing the Biggie's Day song again. Caleb, can you lead us in song, please? Let's let Caleb lead us in some prayer.
Sucking my dick, motherfucker. Oh, Mr. Good
So what we're seeing here is the protesters are now moving around the actual perimeter of the Cal Anderson Park area as outlined by the mayor. Man, it's a lot of resources. It's a lot of officers out here, you know, covering this footprint. Yeah, you're right. You're one block from your house. Yo, so back during
This is where that shooting was at, right here.
this is where the other shooting was. You know, although when the protests first started, man, they were covering them, man. They'd be going like 2 blocks from the crib, and I'd be like, oh.
Don't put it to me like that. Hear that? It's squealing.
Well,
Fuck you, cop!
this is the you know, I mean, what we talked about before was that you know, the absence of the police. You saw this protest basically fracture into a lot of different segments, as there was no focal point. But now that the police are back and are visible, what we see here this is the Capitol Hill train station, by the way, where we're at.
A lot of bacon grease for that one.
Why the fuck you so relaxed, Biggie? Hey, Flash, why the fuck you so relaxed? You should be. Don't fucking smile, you bitch. You fucking bitch.
We see additional officers now reinforcing the line over here.
Biggie has backup.
I bet you can't none of these towers answer about that good review on over there. Fucking pussy.
Take off the fucking badge.
Fuck you, cop!
One thing for sure, if the people of Capitol Hill thought they were going to have a nice quiet night with the being cleared out. They're finding that that's not the case. Now we're back here on Broadway and Denny.
Let's move out. Let's go left, Shannon. Whenever you're ready, baby.
Looks like they're heading back now to the western barricade. So, yeah, it's a lot of things coming back, man. A lot of stuff is coming back in style, including the night shift that we used to talk about, man. And apparently the night shift, at least tonight, has a lot of energy. These guys are out here.
Good, bro.
Sharon G. Are they leaving?
So now this group of protesters is moving southbound on Broadway back towards Pine Street and to that western barricade there on Pine.
Everybody to the right, move to the left. Truck is coming, move to the left. No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Flow like water, yo! Flow like water! Come on, come on, come on! Come on, y'all, keep moving! Keep moving! No justice! No justice! Keep it tight! Keep moving! Keep moving! Fuck the police! Don't worry about them! Don't give them that acknowledgement! Don't give them that acknowledgement! Keep moving! They don't deserve that acknowledgement! Keep going!
Stop telling people what to do.
Keep it tight! It's the police, no justice, no peace! Take to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace!
No peace! Take to the streets and fuck the police! No peace!
Tech!
To the streets and fuck the police! No justice!
Man. Protest season continues here in Seattle.
I'm trying to get it.
Do this. Distraction. That's how you practice. Make sure they go back to the ball and clap again. All right?
So it's been a long day, y'all. Yes, in a few hours. I was like 24 hours. Have had some breaks on here, but
I'm gonna sing my favorite song, y'all. I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna sing my favorite song to you guys. You guys wanna know my favorite song? It might be, no. It goes something like this. I don't know if y'all heard it before. It goes like this, right here. Oh, Miss Jerky, had a farm. On that farm, she had a With a what? And an oink like where? Everywhere. We fucking loopy, yo. You feel me? Niggas been de-escalating shit for 3 days with no sleep, goddammit. So you feel me? 50,000 motherfuckers. We've been in jail for 16 hours, goddamn, with barely any food, no water. Motherfuckers struggling mentally, alright? So sympathize. But we here to lead y'all to a peaceful protest, that's all. Make sure we come out here again every day, okay? We getting shit changed. Fuck these niggas saying they kicking us out. Fuck that. We ain't fucking done yet. Down. They just extended our motherfucking territory to mine. I don't give a fuck what they say. We're not tired. 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 We're not tired.
He's another live streaming your shit. And he has like 3,000 viewers too.
We ain't tired. 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 That's right, that's right. Listen up, folks, listen up. They can try to track us down. They can try to track us down. But what they didn't fucking realize is that we grew roots while we was in there. We grew roots. And guess what happened? Those roots that we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Hey, you wanna listen to that? I don't think this barricade has heard our song. Hey, where you going? Right here.
all right, well, that was a walk through the neighborhood, and we find ourselves right back here. Officers now reinforcing the lines. Find ourselves right back here on Broadway and Pine. And I mean, man, this is like, it's a story that just keeps repeating itself. And like I said, this is day one. You know, only time will tell if the protesters' momentum continues. There's the officer that's giving that's giving some instruction here.
Alright, yo, listen up, listen up, listen up. We're gonna teach these piggies they new song. Alright? Shannon, stop driving. Listen up, listen up. We're gonna teach these piggies they new song. If you've been marching with us, then you know the song, so please sing along. Where's my cowbell? I need some more cowbell. All right, ready? Oh, Mr. King, had a farm.
Timing is everything. What's up?
And on the farms he had some pigs. E-I-E-I-O. With an oink here and an oink there. Here an oink, there an oink, everywhere oink. Oh, Mr. King had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. I'm singing again, y'all.
So 1:30 in the morning, 1:40, whatever time it is here, you know what I'm saying, 1:40 in the morning, the night shift is turned up, and this very well might now be the new normal up here. Officers given instruction to disperse. We see a good number of officers coming up here now to reinforce this front line. This is like deja vu all over again to the Western Barricade. What? This is deja vu all over again. It's just 2 blocks away, and there is no barricade. So imagine that now.
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. 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 That's right, folks. Whose streets are these? Our streets. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Whose fucking streets are these? That's right. And guess what? We get to march anywhere we fucking want to. Because these are our fucking streets, yo. Our streets.
Police are moving in double time now. They're moving in double time back there.
Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets.
The officers are saying something, but we can't hear them. We can't hear what they're saying.
That's right.
We're not tired.
A body camera on or present, you will be asked to remove yourselves from the area.
Police are getting ready to move forward.
This crime by order of the mayor and your police chief. Thank you very much. Attention SPD, this is your final warning. If you do not have your body camera on, you will be removed from said area by order of the mayor and chief best. Thank you very much for complying. This is for your safety and our own. We are peaceful protesters. Please turn your body cameras on. If your body camera is on, we will assume that you mean us harm. Thank you very much.
So what the police are saying is this line right here, they're wanting the protesters to move back about 3 feet.
There was only a line, maybe 13 officers when we walked up here. So I want you to show you the benefit of us marching and moving like water. We had them chasing us. These niggas was not up here mobbing like this before. So when you see them move like this, when they mob like this, when they try to congregate, try to overpower you, move like water. Have them chase you again. Have them start over again. Because when we walked up here, I only saw 13 niggas in riot gear. Y'all wasn't ready.
Double the reinforcement.
We move like water. I told you I'm gonna fight this stuff. I know how y'all fight. I'm 2 steps ahead. I ain't gonna wait till you no motherfucking idiot. Y'all catch me around this motherfucking park. Let's go. Let's go. Come check me in there. I ain't gonna let you go. You wanna catch me? You move like water. I'm 2 steps ahead. Let's go.
So what we're seeing right here is, like I said, the protesters are testing SPD's tactics. This is a very big space. I don't know if they're doing it intentionally or not, but you know, they're moving around and actually seeing how SPD is moving. And I'm sure SPD is basically doing the same. SPD is basically doing the same thing as well, as in testing the protesters' tactics. So this is day one all over again in a much bigger space. You know, you have to remember that before everything was focused on basically one sidewalk, and now this is a very big footprint here. The Cal Anderson protest area. It's a very big area, and you have this again is the Western Barricade, the new Western Barricade, you know, all over again. And you got the protesters who are here, who are now about 10, maybe about 7 feet over the line to where SPD requested that they stand behind. Now, the Seattle Police Department has put about 25, 30 feet between themselves and the protesters. What they're saying is say his name, Sean Furr. The line is getting closer. And we see that this group of protesters are now moving forward to the police line.
What I can say is, both of them were arrested, right? They were both arrested, and they spent all day in jail. They spent all day in jail, and they came back.
So what we see here is that now the protesters now split in two. You have some that have stayed over here on the western side of the barricade, and now you got another group of protesters who are heading up Pike Street, and basically the police are stationed at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 or 9 different streets, which, you know, I mean, of course, requires a lot of resource and literally a lot of manpower to be able to protect and defend this barricade. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, if we find that some of the additional law enforcement agencies that the Seattle Police Department's been working with are actually brought in to bolster the many different streets that make up this area. It's a lot of streets for SPD to basically defend. And when we saw this in version 1, like I said, it was one street. For the most part, well, I mean, it was more streets. It was four streets, but all the primary action was focused on one, which was the Western Barricade. And so, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow you see additional officers from perhaps different agencies that are over here that are holding the line. So that's the.
Charge the line at any second. You all fucking suck. Hey, fucking pussy. Shoot those rubber bullets. Fascism sucks. I'll eat that shit. 8 days a
The police are giving some instruction there. Again, it's a bit difficult to hear, but what I can tell you is saying, well, you hear move back, but you're not really hearing a lot. So, like I said, this is the line right here that the police are requesting the protesters move back to. Right now, about 15 feet.
Shut the fuck up! Was he really?
Like I said, if people thought on Capitol Hill they were gonna get a quiet night, they're up in the windows over here.
Justice for John Burr! 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 Justice for John Burr!
Faisalimam. It's garbage with prods.
So back to these long nights, man.
This is like day zero right here. This is what it feels like.
Yeah,
A couple hundred people.
Day zero.
Yeah.
Day zero. I mean, 100%. Back at it. We'll see. I mean, it is day zero, and we'll see if the momentum stays here. We'll see if the protesters stay out here in the streets. We'll see if the night shift continues to grow. Yeah, well, what I'll say here is that
BBN. LOL. Faisalimam. Unemployment protests wanted make better America, ha ha ha, really irony from Indonesia.
it's good.
Hopefully just sent another 800 people your way.
And so let me step back over here. Like I said, this is the intersection right here. There's no traffic moving on Broadway.
Come here. Everybody come here so I can talk to y'all. Come here, Chop. We gonna keep this shit rocking. Come on, Chop. Everybody gather around. Everybody from the barricades. Come on, we're gonna start moving again. But we wanna have some words with y'all right quick. Hey, everybody at the barricades, come this way so we can start mobilizing to a different barricade. The goal is not to sit around.
Hey, everybody
I think that what's interesting here is even with the protesters, is that you got two different kind of ideologies right here, and you might have right here two different groups. You got one group over here who's wanting to move the protesters around, and you got another group of protesters who, I mean, they're on the front line over here.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets?
So, and you're finding that the people here, I mean, that's what I'm saying is I think people are here for, even with that, for different reasons. You have these protest organizers who are over here who are wanting people to leave the line. And okay, Joy. And you got other people over here who are not. That, I mean,
not antagonize them by throwing shit at them.
Yeah, so even when you say protesters, I mean, we've seen this now a few times. We've seen this as to where some protesters are here, and you know, I mean, man, they want to be here on the front line, and there's other protesters that are wanting to move the protesters around. So.
As soon as we let division occur, everything fell apart. Right now is a fragile time for this movement. Right now, we are in the make it or break it stage of this movement. What we do now determines how we go forward. So it is very important that we stick together. We move fluid like water.
And so what we're seeing right here is actually, and so now, there you go. It's now. And now you got someone here saying, "Hold the line."
At the City Hall, we are occupying space. We are trapped. City Hall.
And now you got two different messages over here. You've got the truck over there who's wanting people to push around. You've got another protester over here who's telling people to hold the line. So like the two different approaches here. And what he's saying is hold the line. And now the police are saying to move back to the intersection. And man, this is a movie that we've seen before too many times. This movie right here we've seen before, as to where it's the police saying, there they are. There's a move back. Like I said, we've seen this one too many times before. Now you have people. Now you have the protesters in the rear telling people to hold tight. I mean, man, it was confusing out here to be. There goes the mace. There goes the mace. The mace is out. It looks like another arrest right there. We got another arrest. Yeah. There goes some smoke. Not sure where that smoke is from. Got an umbrella over there. Grab. Like I said, we've seen this one happen too many times. And at it once again. If anybody was giving instruction for people to hold the line, there goes the cone. Someone threw a cone back there. Yeah.
Do not throw things. Let us peacefully protest. If y'all want to throw things, then I'm going to move out and move like water. Because that's just stupid politics in terms of war.
The thing is, it's like I said, if you're a protester out here, you're literally hearing a few different messages from a few different people. I mean, you're hearing hold the line, and then you're hearing over here, it's another group saying that, you know, they want to move on and everything else. I mean, it's a very interesting situation. You got quite a few protesters here who aren't even. We see items going. We can see items going in over there. You know, This is and just like that, there's definitely a line here now. So I mean, what we're seeing right here, I mean, you saw it unfold right here under your eyes. How it's unfolding right here. What's good, man? Huh?
Look, just to get this understood, shoppers, it was never about the place. There's a lot of unfortunate things that happen within the shop, but that had nothing to do with the people what we were here to do. Unfortunately, like I said, shop was the city because of the area association, but that's not what it was. However, we have to help with what's going on. We're not allowed to let you come out here and protest and help the people keep it straight out here. This is not just about black, this is not just about white. I want to keep this because this movement, this is complete. This is about everybody. This is about your kids, my kids. This is about you. This is about your grandparents. This is about the future of the people of this world. This is about the precedent for the people now. This is not a game. This is real people driving direct, living real life, in the realness of the situation. I'm telling you that this is real.
Faisal Imam. No justice, no peace. How long will the police be killed? It makes you the same as a protest killer.
You know what's up. It's on the crack fireworks. Period. Other than that, if you guys like to help or donate to this cause, please give these people gas masks right here. Like trauma kits or something. Bear maze, tear gas, solution. You can contact on Facebook at Gaylord Jefferson to figure out where you can bring supplies and donations to help people stay safe while they're protesting. What we're concerned in as far as the safety is in a defense perspective. We're not here for the offense. Anything that we do as opposing forces in the defense of protecting ourselves is for peaceful protesting. Understand our position, the pain of the people, and the circumstances of the times.
All right. We're talking about the case of Sean Furr up there right now.
And that's what I said. I feel like if you can't ride a roller coaster, you can't be a fucking cop. I think they're a lot easier than that. It's like so much. Yeah. You go to summer school and they show you and $60 a year. Oh my god. Hold! Oh shit, they got our umbrella! They got the umbrella!
They got the umbrella. There's no hope. Pack it up, guys.
mean, like what we're seeing is now, man, night shift, y'all. It's always the night shift. Officers are taking 2 steps back. Some protesters are taking a step or 2 forward. Umbrellas are out.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Seattle police is taking 2 steps back. Yeah, I think that we wouldn't be surprised tomorrow. I mean, this takes a lot of manpower. Hey, what's up? How are you? This takes a lot of manpower to be here now 24 hours a day on these different barricades that are out here. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see additional law enforcement agencies they might have partnered with or plan to partner with out here on these lawns.
Shut the fuck up! Broadway and Park! Get the fuck out of our city! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Hey, suck my fucking dick! Learn how to shut the fuck up! You all fucking suck!
I'm not tired, but like, I just really want to see you guys go to practice. Life just says life after all.
And I think he was saying,
Save us money and go home.
like totally
Shut the fuck up!
Officers are taking 3 or 4 steps back.
Fuck you! They're trying to draw you in. Don't let them.
SPD is now taking another few steps back. We've got at least a good 30 feet now between the protesters and the officers.
They won't tell anyone his badge number.
Yeah, why'd they move
white one right there. That's the cover. You want something?
No racist ass police! No justice, no peace! No racist ass police! No justice, no peace! No racist ass police! No justice, no peace! No racist ass police! No justice! No racist ass police!
Seattle police now take another 4 steps back, 4 or 5 steps back. Considerable distance now between the protesters and the police front line. Take another 4 steps back.
I love the confident drummers that can tell us so much. Oh, that's the one who gave you
Sabrina. At ___ Neva _snitchin __ heart suit hugging face.
Seattle police takes another 4 steps back. SPD continues to move back.
Single-handedly pushing them back. One Antifa super soldier and a drum. That's all it takes to push back an entire line of cops.
Again, Seattle police moving back. Very well could be a de-escalation technique there on their side. They've built considerable distance now between the protesters and themselves, and they're getting ready to take another 4 steps back. They might be moving back to Nagel Street, and this very well could be a tactic on SPD's side to be able to
Dole.
reduce.
They still going this late.
Reduce the tensions between themselves and the protesters, and we see that Seattle police has created a very big gap here. There's a lot of distance now between the protesters and themselves. So we're, like I said,
Dole.
day number 1, people are.
Or is this a replay?
Saw it before, where the protesters are testing the police tactics, and the police are testing
Dole.
the protester
tactics.
But it looks right here.
I will book it on you bitches. I'm not out fighting for my own life.
Like I said,
Faisalimam.
the police have moved
Want justice but don't know who is the enforcer, then who is the enforcer? Why the protests did not escort the police to bring justice together?
Right, I wish. I know, right? I need the good videos. I wish I was a fucking live streamer with clout or fucking like good content. Yeah. Yeah. Good content.
Yep.
I just want to say, I appreciate you doing this. That's the reason I'm out here right now. This video you do right now.
Girl, you better get called out and come right back to the street.
No, that us.
That's the fact. That's what everybody's doing.
People who got arrested less than 24 hours ago who are already back here. Yeah.
Faisalimam. It was very funny to see America told by the world's police but could not manage her own country.
Yeah, they want to get us in the fucking alley right here so they can fucking cut us and shit. They ain't finna trick my ass and just catch this one.
Victoria Rodriguez. Where do the protesters sleep?
It was all silent on the front here. We got the drummer. But this distance, the distance. The police are moving. They pushed the drummer back. Well, the night shift, I'm telling you, it's always the night shift.
Yo, never forget you can't arrest what you can't catch.
Yeah. You remember back the west? You remember back the Western Barricade?
It was like a lifetime ago.
Well, no, but the first set of night shifters, though, remember they used to just play music and dance in front of the barricade all night. You know what I'm saying? And they would sit there and they would dance in front of the barricade. And I remember I tweeted one time because the police were all over there watching them dance, and I was like, yeah, they're judging the protester. I think I can dance. But this is a that was a lifetime ago, man. They would sit there and just put their music up in front of the Western Barricade and just dance the night away. Seattle police take 4 steps back. He's talking about that's a technique that they saw used in the United Kingdom.
Somebody grab some white balls. So we're gonna be here for a while.
Victoria Rodriguez. Black people should be embarrassed as hell. I would be.
And all the days of covering the protests, covering the marches and everything else, this is the first time I've seen this technique by the Seattle Police Department. I mean, we've seen them move back and forward a few feet, but SPD has created considerable distance between
Earthquake magnitude 3.5. Salta, Argentina. 5 minutes ago.
This is a trap. Of course, we're on this side of the line, so this is the only side of the line we get feedback on. It could be a de-escalation tactic here by SPD.
Victoria Rodriguez. Especially having these dumb white people running around.
This is a tactic for something else, but they've put a lot of space between themselves and the protesters. Again, if this is
Victoria Rodriguez. Doesn't racism come from white towards the black?
not sure how many man hours this is going to come out to. I'm telling you, this is a big space. And you know,
timing
we
is
don't have
everything.
the purview
It is
as
sad
to
to see
what's
these
going on
people
at the
not
other
care about the good
intersections
cops
here.
that risk
My
their lives for
assumption is
everyone.
that the other intersections are quiet, but you know, again, we don't know.
Victoria
I mean,
Rodriguez.
There has to be some officers
BB, I'm white by the way.
at every street that's over there, if they want to be able to meet their objective of keeping the public out of the area.
Some arrest video. There was a guy who was arrested on the far west side when no one else was around.
Victoria Rodriguez. They have no respect, their parents have spare the rod.
You can hear it. Where's that at? That was on the other side after all this crew had passed.
Sabrina.
Not this one, but the
At
next
its
one.
Dana Hartsuit
I
hugging
don't know which
face.
street that is. Yeah, they just fucking picked that dude out. And then if you could hear the volume, he's just like screaming because they're just like, they're really pitting him down. Dude is completely trashed though.
Man, got a feeling this ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Yeah, he, oh no, tonight, no. He's just like there, and then like he kind of struggles a little bit when they throw him in. But they also, with that knife right there, they just cut that bag right out of his hand.
Victoria Rodriguez. If I lived there I would keep them up the whole time they were trying to sleep, see how they like it.
How you spell racist? SPD!
All right, well, for now, I gotta get out of here. We got a big day.
Victoria
tomorrow.
Rodriguez.
Once again.
They want to act like animals,
No-
they
no
need to go
break,
to a
man,
jungle.
No respite here, you know what I'm saying?
Sabrina.
You know, so all
At
the
Troila
protesters out
007
here,
girls stop already, no one
4
cares.
a.m. They're still here to set the scene for you. We're right here on Pine Street, man. We've been on Pine now for a long, long time. But now we're on Pine. The police are there on Nagel. The protesters are here on Broadway.
Victoria
The night
Rodriguez.
shift has arrived.
You're not my keeper.
You know, at one point, the protesters and
Victoria
the police were very
Rodriguez.
close.
MYOB.
SPD, we saw them put considerable distance here, you know, maybe 50 feet or more in between themselves. So the police actually
Victoria
moved back,
Rodriguez. Mind your
50
own
feet,
business.
And their line is still constituted right there.
Uh-huh.
And we
At
see
Bay_Red Heart.
bicycles. Hold on.
Victoria Rodriguez. Thanks for taping. At Bay_Bree, I'm sorry, hun walked away.
So we have the bikes coming in. We talked about, is that just one bike? So now if it's a lot of bikes,
Victoria Rodriguez.
then
Shut
you
the
know,
up, Sabrina.
The SPD is very effective with the bicycles as far as crowd control, use of the bikes for barricades, coordinated movement, and everything else.
Sabrina. At Troila 007 medium skin tone emoji modifier or racist thoughts, this is a public site edge.
I suggest
get ready. So this is the scene right here. Like I said, the night shift is out here. And this is a very socially distanced, in a sense, standoff here between
Sabrina.
the police.
At Troila007 put a eggplant in your mouth.
In all of our coverage that we've ever seen the two lines next to this far apart from each other. And
Victoria
if the protesters
Rodriguez.
stay true to what they're saying
LOL.
every day, I mean, you know, things have switched from the chop, but the protests here still continue.
Sabrina.
Let's see.
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing. That was funny.
If the bicycles do come out, then it's a change in posture. And you would expect the bicycles.
Victoria Rodriguez. I'd keep that night shift up all day.
But of course we can't see through the line there. But there's a few bikes, but I think they probably need at least, I don't know, 10 or 12 across. Right now, you can only see like one or two bikes, and that's just definitely not enough bikes. If they're planning on bringing the bikes out to use the bikes,
Faisalim
some kind of measure here.
Tell the protest what you want. Appoint one as a representative to meet the police, then invite a discussion to find a solution. You protest every day. How long when there is no solution?
Interesting that the bikes aren't out here this evening, considering there
Victoria
was no
Rodriguez.
barrier here. It's just a
These
plastic
protesters
tape.
are FN retarded.
And as we see,
Victoria Rodriguez. They need to be in a mental institution. Victoria Rodriguez. The Hell's Angels are on their way.
actually they're reducing. Yeah, well, from where I'm at, I can't see any bikes. So I'm gonna call it right here, but I'll be honest with you, the night shift doesn't look like they're going anywhere. We're gonna get out of here. If anything does happen, we'll put up a live stream from over here. But I mean, you guys heard it there in some of the interviews, the people that we talked to. The message that's coming out of City Hall isn't necessarily resonating here with people in the street, and that's a big issue. We'll discuss it further though. Catch you tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the morning update show. Appreciate everybody for logging on this stream. And it appears
BBN.
they're here in Seattle, Washington.
What's happening in Hong Kong right now is the government controlling the people. You're not even allowed to protest the government or criticize them. You've got more right than people do in Hong Kong. Victoria Rodriguez. Very angry punks, starving for attention. Victoria Rodriguez. Thanks. Faisalim M. Different from Hong Kong, here they demand justice because someone is killed in the Hong Kong they want them to be independent but prevented by the Chinese. Faisalim M. More funny protest Hong Kong asking for help by America while America cannot solve the problems in his country.
Earthquake magnitude 3.2. Offshore Coquimbo, Chile. 10 minutes ago. Earthquake magnitude 3.9. Alaska Peninsula. 5 minutes.